here's the voicemail, the voice recording that we got this week.
One of many, Kim, I hope.
Yeah.
This is the one you selected. If we can get it, make it louder.
Okay.
Hi, Kim and Grandma Gail. I need some dating advice. I am 26 and I just moved to New York City from the South, and I'm struggling because I feel like none of the guys I'm dating here have manners like they did back home. I'm used to guys pulling out my chair for me, holding the door, stuff like that, and it's not really happening. My friends are telling me that I'm too picky and that I need to lower my standards and realize that I am in this big city now and not back home in the South, but I don't know. These things are important to me. So what do you think? Should I hold out for a guy that has manners in New York, or will I be waiting forever?
All right, I'm going to answer this because I think it's so fun. And I had children who did go to college in the South. It is very different. Relationships and manners that men have been brought up with are very different than the big city of New York and probably New Jersey and Chicago. If it really, you're never going to get the same kind of feeling because they weren't raised in that kind of atmosphere, the men in the city who really are basically New Yorkers who are aggressive and running around. Even if they're not aggressive, they don't have the same background that your Southern gentlemen have. That's always been the case. The South is always the genteel society. If it's very, very important to you, you're going to have to go back down south. And it's nothing wrong with that. There's an awful lot of wonderful Southern communities where you can get a terrific job and end up with a wonderful man from similar background to yourself. It shouldn't be the end-all thing because there's some terrific young men and women in New York that were raised in New York or our big cities. It's just they have a different mindset, a different pace to their lives. So don't give up yet. But if really you find it discouraging, you know what? Pack your bag and go back down south.
I'm going to disagree. I agree that I'm sure people were brought up a different way and it was like a higher up priority for parents to do it that way. But to say that no men in New York City have manners is a crazy statement.
Well, I don't think it's not no men. It's the men she's met.
I think probably. And I think that, one, you shouldn't meet someone if they don't have good manners. They're not going to change their manners.
Right, no question.
But I also think part of it also has to do with age, at least in my experience. I think when you're 22, you're not really thinking like, I'm going to pull her chair out for dinner. And like maybe when you get older, enough girls tell you that you have to, that you kind of learn it. Or you just mature and you're like, okay, I guess I should start acting like how my parents told me to act or what I saw.
I think that's more the case.
That kind of thing. Manners are also really important to me. And it did knock off points from people when they didn't drop me home on the way home, or they didn't text, did you get home okay? Or they didn't pay for the dinner, whatever it was.
I think it's very important. Like, I think she's right. But you know what? Don't give up on New York yet.
Yeah, I think there are 100% people. And I also wouldn't be afraid to, like, once you're dating someone a little bit more, if you like them, to be like, hey, it makes me feel really special when you come around the door for the car and like open the car door for me, or when you open a door for me.
You're not his mother. I don't think you can start teaching people manners.
That. And then they'll do it if they care.
Maybe.
Because, you know, they don't realize it cares to you until you tell them.
Well, I don't think they've been taught to do it. It's a learning experience. And I don't think at the age of 30, you're going to retrain somebody. And I don't think you should, nor should you.
I don't know if it's retraining as much as saying like, hey, this thing's important to me. And then I think they should do it. And if they don't, then you could think.
I also think a lot of women don't want to have their door open. They feel they're
that's
equal.
The thing. And maybe
they're an equal adult. They figure they can open their own door. So it could backfire with a lot of people. If you say this young woman clearly wants that, she has to find a guy that will do it. Right. And there are people out there.
And I think a lot of guys will think like, oh, maybe that's not feminism if I do that because they think I'm going to offend her. Right. So it's that way too. But that's why I think you have to make it clear kind of where
I agree with that, Kim.